Hi, my name is Harmony.
My name is Marie. Today we are going to talk to you about the Rue Nationale.
The Rue Nationale, formerly known as Rue Royale, was converted in the 18th century. It was the first urbanistic project which considerably marked the landscapes of the city.
Indeed, until the 18th century, the city was organized around a main east-west axis. It was modified during the construction of the road to Spain, and now the main axis is north to south. The road to Spain links Paris to Spain and passes through Tours.
The first works were started in 1777 by François du Cluzel after Jean Cadet de Limeyn's plans. Redevelopment works enabled to open up the city by developing this road axis.
The entrance was between the Fine Arts College, built in 1760, and the Old City Hall, also built by Jean Cadet de Limeyn in 1786. The Rue Royale was first a residential area, but soon shops were set up too.
In the 19th century, a development project was set up. It mainly modified the Place Jean Jaurès by building the Palais de Justice there from 1840 to 1843. In 1840, the Rue Royale was still unfinished, but the city wanted to maintain an architectural unity for future buildings.
The Rue Royale lost its prestige at that period. The wealthy social classes deserted it and moved to new streets. Eugène Giraudet, a doctor and historian of the 19th century, said of this street that you only meet soldiers on nannies, and it is better to go to the Mail, where life is more pleasant.
The 20th century is a time of war, but it was above all the Second World War that scarred the city, and especially its urban landscape.
In 1940, the heart of the city was destroyed by German bombs. Philippe Pétain, head of the collaborationist Vichy government, set up a reconstruction program, but it could never be carried out. There was no money to do it.
Tours was strongly affected by the bombings. In 1948, a damage assessment was established. The destruction of Tours was then estimated at 52%. Most of damage was concentrated around the Rue Nationale. 75% of it and its surrounding areas were destroyed.
However, this did not prevent architects from drawing up plans for the reconstruction of the city and the Rue Nationale. In 1940, in particular, a plan by Camille Lefebvre resurfaced. His project proposed a widening of the street, but many people were against it, especially shop owners who wanted a reconstruction of the Rue Nationale as in the 18th century, the abolition of the tramway, and did not want the street to be transformed into a road. This project, which led to many protests, was nevertheless approved in 1942, but never realized.
However, his plan was partly included in the project of Jean d'Orient and Pierre Patou after 1955. They took up the idea of widening the street to 25 meters. The reconstruction of Pierre Patou began in 1946 and was not completed until 1962. That is when the public library was built. And there is another guided tour video about it, if you are interested. But his project was not fully realized due to a lack of financial resources. Shops were built on either side of the square between 1953 and 1958 by popular demand of the residents.
The Rue Nationale has been undergoing a metamorphosis since the 18th century, and the 21st century is no exception. In 2013, a tramway line was built linking the north of the city to Jouer-les-Tours via the Rue Nationale. it radically transformed the face of the street.
A project to build 2 hotels at the top of the Rue Nationale is underway and will once again change its appearance. Businesses were moved and therefore removed to allow for the construction of these 2 buildings. They will become a new marker of the Rue Nationale, directly visible when we enter the city from the Loire side.